Hi, everybody, and welcome again to Transforming Mission. This is Module 5, entitled Evangelism, an Invitation to Discipleship. We've already looked at Module 1, the Missio Dei, the Mission of God. Module 2, Telling God's Story, or the Story of God. Module 3, the Kingdom of God. And Module 4, the Gospel. What do you do with good news? This is Module 5, Evangelism, an Invitation to Discipleship. Now, before I share with you for a minute on this subject, let me just remind you to look closely at the readings for this week. Familiarize yourself with those, as well as the notes and quotes and the guided questions, and I'll look forward to joining you online in just a couple of days. Okay, great. I'll never forget the first time I went for an evangelistic outreach with a YWAM team at a base at which I had recently become leader. I wanted to understand and then get involved with their ministry. One of the regular expressions of outreach was an evangelistic movie ministry. Each weekend the team would go to a nearby village, show films, and then give an evangelistic invitation to pray the prayer. In those villages that had yet to be electrified, this was a guaranteed way to gather an audience. Hang up a sheet for a movie screen, start the generator, then the projector, roll the movie, and count the raised hands afterward. Nothing to it. Imagine my shock when I found that the first movie was entitled Burning Hell. That movie was billed as a true depiction of the horrors which awaited those who failed to receive Jesus' offer of salvation. The evangelistic outreach turned out to be an attempt to scare the hell out of people and get them scared straight into heaven. You might call it Fright Night evangelism. Conversion was the goal, the end justifying the means. But this is no way to proclaim good news and call people to follow Jesus. At least in my opinion, it isn't. Now, granted, this was quite a few years ago, but I wonder if the same ideas about evangelism still hold for some, if not many. Back in the day, YWAMers were known for their evangelistic fervor. You might call me crazy, but I left my job, packed up my family, and went to a tiny island thousands of miles away from home because I believed Jesus was coming soon, and I wanted to tell people about Jesus before he arrived. By the early 2000s, however, I noticed that many younger YWAMers did not appear to be as strongly motivated to share their faith. To help those in need, yes, but to evangelize, as I had come to understand it, not so much. As far back as the early 1980s, when frontier missions became a thing in YWAM, there was a slight bit of tension between the vision to evangelize and the vision to do mercy ministry. Thankfully, I'm not aware of that tension ever spilling over into ruptured relationships. Today, I think there's a better understanding that mission requires us to live in the tension of doing both evangelism and mercy ministry. As a mission movement, a choice cannot and must not be made between these two equally valid expressions of the reality of God's kingdom. As an individual, I must know what the Spirit is calling me to do and then do it. The title of one of my favorite books on evangelism expresses really well the understanding that I think each of us must have. Invitation to Discipleship, the Message of Evangelism. Imagine how our approach to doing evangelism might be impacted if we practiced it with making disciples, not converts, the objective. Let me say that again. Imagine how our approach to doing evangelism might be impacted if we practiced our evangelism with making disciples, not converts, our objective. Again, please give this week's readings a close look and be prepared to discuss evangelism with one another when we meet in our online group. I'll see you then.